So I just filmed my everyday look that I usually just go for on a day-to-day basis. Super simple, for me at least. I seem to go a little extra on the contouring, the blush, the highlight, but this is what I like on myself, so you know, can't help that. So if you want to see what kind of products I use on a day-to-day basis and how I apply everything, then just keep on watching. Okay, so before we jump into the tutorial, I wanted to point out the little bottle in the bottom left corner. I know it's there, but we're just gonna roll with it. I'm sorry I can't refilm this, but yeah, here we go. Starting out with the base, we're actually gonna put our hair up first because I don't want this in your face. So now we're gonna prime our face using the Nivea Men's Post Shave Balm. I got this after Nikki Tutorials and Kathleen Lights started talking about it. It's actually a really nice primer. It's like $6 and you can just buy it at Target. And it smells really good. It smells like a dude. I'm like, I'm okay with this. The reason why this is a really good primer is because the first ingredient is glycerin, and that makes your skin just a little bit tacky and makes your foundation stick. So I really like that factor. Going into foundation, using my normal L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte in the shade 101. This is the lightest one because I'm really pale. So I'm just gonna basically do the same thing as I did in my first video and just dot it all over my face and then blend it out with a beauty blender. So taking my damp beauty blender, I'm just gonna blend this out. You do want to use a beauty blender wet. I personally do not know how people use them dry just because like I'm so used to using it wet. So 100% they're made to be used wet. So wet it, and it will make your makeup look so airbrushed, and it's just really nice. So damp beauty blender and blend. One thing that's nice about this foundation is that it covers up like the redness in my skin tone. Like I have a pink undertone and I don't really like my pink undertone, at least like on my face. Like I don't really notice like a lot of pink down the rest of my body, but you know, that's what foundation and stuff is for, is to match your face to your body. So, and you want to make sure to bring it down the neck, a little on the ears, just so there's no line between your face and your neck, even though your foundation should match. I've never actually found a like perfect match for me because I'm so fair. That's like at the drugstore at least, because I don't want to spend like $30 on a foundation because I run out of foundation really fast. Okay, moving on to concealer, using the same one, Instant Age Rewind. Actually, let's switch it up a little bit. Okay, instead we're gonna use the Maybelline Master Conceal. This one's really good. It is very brightening, very thick though, and I don't know if that's my favorite thing ever, but it conceals really well and I do enjoy the coverage of it. So I'm just gonna take like this much, that's all you need. I'm just gonna like rub it between my fingers just to like warm up the product and make it a little less thick. And then I'm gonna take whatever's on one finger, dab it under the eye and like spread it out, doing that again to the other eye, and then on our chin, down the nose, and middle of the forehead. As you can see, this is like much lighter than the other one, but once you blend it out, it does seem to blend in very nicely. So now blending again with the beauty sponge. I'm just gonna take whatever concealer is left over and put it on my eyelids just like I did with the foundation. I like to use my concealer and my foundation as an eye primer. I do have other eye primers that I do like, but this is just my favorite way of doing it, and it's super fast because you're already doing foundation and concealer, so you just have to add on to your eyelids basically. Okay, so I'm going to set my eyelids first, just bouncing out whatever has already creased using the Real Technique setting brush and the NYX pressed translucent powder. And we're just gonna tap that over our eyelids just so we have a smooth base for our eyeshadows and that it's gonna be easier to blend out. And then for the under eye concealer, we're going to bounce that out one more time just to make sure that all the creasing is gone. And then we're going to lightly set the under eye with the same brush, same powder. And I just like to only basically set like right under the eye because I'm going to go back in and swirl my Beauty Blender into the powder. So, and set it again. So right under there, and then taking your sponge again and like swirling it in your powder. I really like setting my under eye with this technique. Just, it makes everything so smooth and so flawless under there. I also like to set my chin, my nose, and the middle of my forehead, basically all the other places that we put concealer. So while that is setting and kind of baking, we're going to move on to eyebrows. So again, taking the NYX Micro Brow, I'm just gonna brush my eyebrows through and up. Bushy eyebrows are really in, bushy thick eyebrows, and you know, I want to make that happen on my face, so I just like to brush them up to give them like the full length of the hair, and then fill them in with the shade that works best for me. So fill your eyebrows in however you would like, and then we'll move on. Okay, brows are done and on, and so now we're going to wipe off whatever excess powder is still on our face, underneath of our eyes, on the nose, everything. Basically, wherever we set with powder, I'm just gonna make sure there's no excess powder on your face. So moving on to eyeshadow. For my everyday, I tend to switch up between these Makeup Geek shadows and the Morphe E23. It's the same look, it's like basically the same colors, everything. So I would use these two right here and this one. And then in the Morphe E23, I would basically be using a mix of these two or this one. They're all very, very similar colors. And then also this one. I like this combination better, but I do like the Makeup Geek shadows as well. I'm gonna go with the Morphe E23. I know you've already seen this on my channel, but we're gonna go for it and use the Makeup Geek shadows in a later video. So using a Morphe E23, just a big fluffy brush, I'm going to take a mix of all three of those because why not, and we're gonna just use this as our transition shade. I love using a warm brown as my transition just to make everything like, you know, smoother in the eyeshadow look. I'm using like 3 colors in this, and this is the main one, I would say. Focusing that color in the outer corner of your eye, just so you have room on your lid for a different shadow that will go in with. So I like to start out on the outer corner and basically press my eyeshadow right on that outer corner and then start to blend up and into the inner corner. When I first did this look, it was actually like in April this year, and it was like a Greek life recruitment event, and I just like kind of fell in love with how it looked, and I just kept doing it, and I have enjoyed doing it every single time, and it just looks so good with like basically everything. It makes my blue eyes pop. I'm sure it would make green and hazel, even brown eyes pop, so I feel like this is a very good everyday neutral look. Okay, so now going into a different little blending brush. This is the Morphe M505. As you can see, there's a trend to my brushes. There are a lot of Morphe. They just have really good brushes, so you know, can't go wrong. And I'm gonna go into this more cool toned shade right here, tap off the excess, and then again focusing that on the outer corner and basically placing this where we put the other combination of those two shades. Okay, going back into that Morphe E23 that we used with the first combination of those three browns, and we're just gonna blend those two together just so that everything just blends so smoothly. I'm actually going to take more of that brown, the first brown combination, and use more. Again, focusing most of that on the outer corner, and then I like to kind of blend up, make it a little bit smoky, even though this is everyday, but you know, it's okay. So now for the lid, I'm going to take this shade right here. This is not a matte, but it's not a shimmer. Like, you can tell, like, when you're looking at this palette, wetter shimmers and wetter mattes, but this is a satin, where it's like, it has a sheen, but it's not necessarily like a metallic eyeshadow. And I think that's what I like about it, is that it's not too, like, subtle, but it's not too, like, boom in your face, and like, I think that's perfect for an everyday look. So I'm just going to take this on a little flat shader brush. This is from Sonia Kashuk. You can buy Sonia Kashuk at Target. And I'm just going to pack this on my lid, like in this area. Okay, and then taking just a clean blending brush. This is what I usually go for as my clean blending brush. This is also from Sonia Kashuk. And I'm just going to lightly dust over my eye just to make sure that there's no apparent like difference between the sheen eyeshadow and then like the mattes. Now we're gonna take this brush, I'm sure you've seen it in my other videos. This is the e.l.f. Professional Blending Eye Brush, and we're actually just going to mix these two right there, and we're going to blend this on our lower lash line, and we're gonna connect the top outer corner to the bottom. So as you can see, this just matches up really nicely, and then we're just gonna repeat it on the other side. I only went about 2/3 of the way in. I want to leave my inner corner open for an inner corner highlight, which we're gonna go into now. Taking this bright matte shade, we're gonna place this in the inner corner, and then also on our brow bone with whatever is left on the brush from the inner corner highlight. We are now done with the eyeshadow. Super basic, can work for all eye colors. That's what I love about this. And then we're gonna move on to the base. We're gonna bronze and contour really fast. So for bronzing and contouring, I like to use the same product for my everyday look. Benefit Hoola Bronzer, like, it's just too great not to use, you know? But I do use two different brushes to do two different things. So we're gonna contour using our large fan brush once again. This has been my favorite way to contour. I also like to use a rounded out contour brush sometimes, but recently it's been this way, so we're just gonna go with this. I just like to, you know, dip it in there and then suck my cheeks in and go to work. Taking some of it on my forehead. And I'll also go in and bronze on my forehead as well. And then taking the Real Techniques large powder brush and same bronzer, I'm just gonna lightly dust over that and bronze with it. And then same on the forehead. Okay, and then for blush, I'm going to take the Morphe E4. Found it. This is a great brush. It's angled and just like my other one that I like to use. And I'm also going to take the BH Cosmetics Nude Blush Palette. I really like these because this is like my jam. I love these. I also enjoy these two, or yeah, so these 5 are my favorite, but I do think that I can use the other ones. This one scares me because that is really pink. Like, oh my god. Oh my god. And it's so pigmented. Like, these things you have to very, like, aggressively tap your brush off. I'm just gonna take a mix of these 3, tapping off my brush, just kind of blending into the blush area. What I like about this blush is that it's like not too pink. It's like more like a nude blush, and it's just like a really nice flesh, like natural blush, and I really like that for an everyday look. So for highlight, I have 2 moods basically. If I want to go more beaming, I would go for the e.l.f. Pinktastic Baked Blush. I love this. This is so good. I'm gonna probably have to buy and try some other ones because I love that one so much. And then I also like to use the Wet n Wild bronzer. It's not a bronzer. In Reserve Your Cabana. This one is more, this is the more subtle one. I'm not going to use this one today, but I go in between this one and this one. So we're going to put this one to the side and we're going to beam today, which is usually what I go for. But sometimes I am in the mood for a more subtle highlight, which, you know, sometimes you don't want to glow to the gods. So it's okay. So we're just going to, you know, do this and highlight with it. Like, see what I mean? Beaming. And it's like $3. How can you go wrong with that? So now that we are glowing, and for really cheap too. I just love that it's so, like, so inexpensive, but like such good quality. Like, that's my favorite part because I'm a broke college student. Sometimes you can't. Now I'm going to set my face using the All Nighter makeup spray from Urban Decay. I also like the NYX matte finish one. I'm running out of this, so I like to use one that I like have enough of. So we're gonna just set our face really fast. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that the setting spray is dry, we're going to line our top lashes using the NYC Liquid Liner. Per usual, this stuff lasts all day, and this was like $2. Again, you can tell that I'm a very drugstore person, inexpensive makeup. That's like my deal. We're just gonna line. So here we go. I like to do a thin line when I am just doing everyday makeup, but if I start to do a thicker line on this side, I'll just go back in and make this eye thicker. Now moving on to mascara, I'm going to take the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black on my lower lashes. This is my most dried up mascara. I like to use my dried up mascaras on my bottom lashes just so there's not too much product down there and it won't like clump up my lower lashes. So just wiggle the wand and go to work. Do you see this? That's so annoying. Oh my god. Now for top lashes, I'm going to do a thin coat of the Voluminous Carbon Black just so we have a nice base for our next mascara. Okay, so then I usually go in between these two. This is the Sephora Outrageous Volume mascara. I really like this one. It's been one of my favorites for a really long time, but it's slowly becoming not one of my least favorites because I do have a least favorite, but it's going down. I have a new fave. I'm gonna use the Voluminous Lash Paradise from L'Oreal. That's the reason why I put down the thinner coat of the Carbon Black, because I found that using the thinner coat underneath of this really helps my look go to where I want it to be. So again, just applying more mascara. Okay, so we have our lashes on. I don't do fake eyelashes like no matter what, so this is like basically all I got. But I like my natural lashes, so I don't even mind. Moving on to lips, I just like to do a basic gloss. If it's not clear, it's this one, which is the Fairy Floss gloss from Colourpop. I really like their glosses. I like their ultra satin lips. Just a lot of their products are really good, so I really recommend them. So I'm just gonna put on a gloss and then I guess we're done. Okay, so I guess that is it. Take out the hair, you know, make it look cute. Just like so. I actually blow dried my hair today. I never do that. I just like let it air dry and it actually looks really cute. So I'm like, maybe I should put in more effort sometimes, you know? This is it. This is my everyday look. It may be like a little bit extra for some people, but I seem to be an extra person when it comes to makeup. So if you guys enjoyed this, make sure you click the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, comment down below what you want to see next. I have a few ideas in mind. I don't know. I think that's all I have to say. Which is weird because I want to talk to you more. So I will see you in my next video. So bye guys.